Hello. Denise bought a ukulele. She's just getting into music and wanted to know if she needs an instructor. And apparently she got this ukulele, the Caramel CB402. And this is an interesting ukulele. It's a baritone. It's much larger than the little soprano, which is only about this size, or the concert that's this size, or the tenor that's this size. So you've decided to go with baritone. And the baritone ukulele is really the way that I got started too. So I'll tell you what I can to help you get started. I've had bad luck with teachers. I haven't had any good luck with teachers that I know of. The teacher that helped me never taught me a tune in 5 months with classical guitar, and I was happy to switch over to ukulele and learn on my own after that. I had another subscriber who took lessons with somebody who had started her off with a very difficult song, which I thought was really ridiculous, and she persevered for several months and finally quit and hasn't made any progress since. I believe that the ukulele can be simple. You have to have an idea of what you want to do, and I think that most adults can learn on their own. Anyone who wants to make their comments on how they got started are welcome to, but for me, this is what I would suggest to do. Now, I started making really good progress with ukulele when I learned a little finger picking method like this. And that was a nice way I could play chords. So that's how I got started. But what I would recommend, you take your baritone ukulele. First thing you got to do is tune it. Get your tuner. It must be set on G. If you've got a DGBE tuned ukulele, it needs to be set on G. And you can see a little G here, I hope. You don't want this on anything else. You don't want it on U, for example, which is what you would have if you had another kind of ukulele. You don't want U with the baritone. You want G. And this is how I'm tuning this one. Now yours probably won't be too bad out of tune, but this string here is controlled by this tuner. And you keep turning it this way until you see a green light. When this is pointing straight up, you're okay. Now tuning can be tricky if the instrument is way out of tune. But usually you would turn this maybe 1 or 2 times and you will see this begin to move up to where it needs to be. And you can certainly find other videos to help you tune your ukulele. You'll get used to this pretty quickly once you can do it. And it's very easy once the ukulele is already in tune. So this string goes up here. And this will go to G. And that's the way that's going to look. This string will go up here, and you turn it an opposite way this time to make the little indicator go over. So you're turning it actually this way now. And that needs to be on B. It may take you a while to get the hang of this, but Stick with it. You got plenty of help on YouTube. And this first string here, by the way, this is the first, second, third, and fourth string. 1, 2, 3, 4. The first string will be tuned E for the baritone. And you might want to listen to the sounds that these make when you're tuning it so that you'll know about what it should sound like. So, once you have your ukulele in tune, let's try to keep things simple. There are a lot of adults who struggle with ukulele, I think mainly because they go from this to that to this, trying to keep looking for an easier way to play. Keep in mind, this is what you want to do. You want to learn first, in my opinion, the thumb strum. You want to be able to play and sing using the thumb strum. Now, we're going to also want to read music. So, this will give you a lesson for something to think about for about 6 weeks in this one lesson. Now, get you some music. And you might want to buy this book right here. It's very cheap. You can buy it on eBay or Amazon. And it has 109 easy songs, many of which you can use to get started with, including Mary Had a Little Lamb, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, Row, Row, Row Your Boat, some of my personal favorites, and lots of other ones too. The good thing about this book is it gives you songs with easy chords, and you'll learn about chords. I don't know, you said you don't know too much about music. That's okay. 3 chords you'll need to know. See, this is G. D7 and C. I just realized that we're talking about baritone ukulele here. This is a little different than if we were working with soprano, tenor, or concert. So we were going to have to think about what kind of music we're going to get you started with. Let me see. Okay, I had to regroup a little bit once I realized that we're talking about the baritone instead of soprano, concert, or tenor. With the baritone, you'll find it easiest to play songs that are in the key of G. That is, that G is the dominant chord. This book, most of the songs are in the key of C. Now this one is in the G because you see it starts out with G. G is the dominant chord. But most of the songs in here are in the key of C. Like this one, if they start off with C, you figure they're in the key of C. Now what we're going to do here, I still suggest that you buy this book, but you will want to change. When you see C, you play G. When you see G7, you play D7. And that's all you really would need to do on this song. What you will do is basically learn how to play the tenor, concert, soprano, and baritone ukulele all at the same time. This may sound complicated, but it's not. You just have to focus on this and say, okay, I'm playing G is my C. On my baritone ukulele, my C is G. My G7 is actually D7, and so forth. You'll have to get that straight. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because this is the best book I know how to teach with, and this will help you. This book has so many songs, and I don't know of any other one that has so many songs in the chord of G. So this is how it's going to work, okay? We're going to play Row, Row, Row Your Boat. We will play other songs as well. The thing to remember, and what makes this book so useful, is when you see these little spaces here, there is a little space, there's a line here, a space here, space here, space here. These are called measures. The spaces between these two bars. And this number here will tell you how many times to strum in each space. That's very important, because that is really your control. If you know how many strums to strum, then you know what to do. Otherwise, you'd just be strumming here or there all over the place. You want to strum nice and smoothly. So let's just, it's probably easier just to show you how to do it, maybe, than to talk about it. Row, row, row your boat shows C, so you're going to strum G. 3 times here, row. 3 times here, row. 3 times here, row your. And 3 times here, boat. Now actually what I have found, we're changing the key from C to G. So the sound will be a little lower than what you're used to hearing, but I think it sounds really good. The baritone ukulele is a completely different sound from the tenor or the other ukuleles. Very nice. The song is Row, Row, Row Your Boat. We're going to row, 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 row your boat gently down the stream. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream. That wasn't bad. I really didn't follow my instructions too well here, and I guess that's okay if it sounds good, isn't it? I think. Let me try it again. We don't have to worry about anything except trying to make some nice sounding music. Now, this shows us playing the G chord, or C, or your case G, all the way until we get to life. That's when we will change. This is C, or in your case G, and this is G7, or in your case D7. See how my fingers are. This is a very important chord. You'll be using this all the time. This finger here, this finger here, and that finger there. With these two chords right here, you can play 1,000 songs. And here, of course, all you're doing is holding down one note. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. Merrily, 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 merrily. Merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream. So, as I played that song, I really didn't strum 3 times in each space as I was supposed to. But that will give you a guide. That is a general idea, and if you think about it too much, you won't be able to play it all. Remember, you're trying to make some kind of entertaining, pleasing sounding music. The book will give you a guide how to do it. It'll tell you when you have to play the chords. When you see C, you play on and on and on. You might just want to think of your baritone as this being right here and this being right here. Okay? That would help in this book. I really hate that it's sounding as complicated as it is to start with. But let's just focus on our first song. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream. Now, if you can do that, if you can play that and sound pretty good, then you are way ahead of me in the music business from how I started. Because as I've told people many times, in 5 months I could not play a single song. So if you can play Row, Row Your Boat the first week and make it sound pretty good, you will be way ahead of the game here. I do think the thumb strum is the way to start. It's the simplest way to play the ukulele. Now let's try another song. Just to show, and I'm starting out with easy songs, of course. I like to play these songs still yet. I play these songs just about every day now for some reason or another. One of the reasons I play these songs is when I'm learning new techniques, I like to start off with easy, simple songs to play the new techniques. There are other ways you can play Row, Row Your Boat. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Row, row, row your boat gently So when you learn one song, then you can figure out other ways to play it. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream. And there's more ways you can play it as well, but start with the thumb strum. Learn row, row, row your boat. And when you can play that, let's give you a second song. This one you might want to even start off first, but you decide. I don't really need music for this one because you're only holding down this string, okay? In your book it's showing C, but this is your G. Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping? Brother John, Brother John. Morning bells are ringing, morning bells are ringing. Ding, ding, dong, ding, ding, dong. Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping? Brother John, Brother John. Morning bells are ringing, morning bells are ringing. Ding, ding, dong, ding, ding, dong. So, I would say those would be two good songs to start out with. You don't necessarily have to have this book now. You know how to play the chords on them. But any music that you happen to find, try to find it in the key of G or change the key as I showed you how to do from C to G. This is a great book, very useful for many songs. And this is an interesting book. This is like a college education in music in a little book. It's kind of frustrating sometimes because there's so much in this little book. But it's good to have around, and you can look in this occasionally and maybe find a lot of good information. If you just started from page 1 and went through it, you'd have a college education in ukulele, I'm sure. So, learn the thumb strum. Be able to play enjoyably your ukulele as soon as possible with simple songs. Be able to play several of those. And the next step after you learn the thumb strum would either be up and down strum, or one of the finger picking methods like this if you like. But the thumb strum should keep you occupied for several weeks for sure, I would think. Denise, I hope this helped. I hope this at least gave you an idea of where to start. You've got a great ukulele. Here it is. I do like caramel ukuleles. They are solid, good playing, and very serviceable ukuleles. It has a great sound. Thanks for watching the video.